Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to clear the check engine lights on your car with this $36 cable that I got off of Amazon called OBD Link SX. All it is basically a cable that goes into your port under the driver's side of your car. It's called the OBD diagnostic port. OBD 2 stands for onboard diagnostics generation 2, and then you plug the other into your fucking laptop. It's pretty straightforward. I'm kind of drunk, so I might fuck this up. But yeah, basically the problem I've been having, and the car I'm going to show as an example is a 2002 Saab 93. It's a pretty nice car, but it's got a couple of problems with it, and the main issue is that it keeps throwing the check engine light. And that puts it into limp mode and makes it a real piece of shit to drive around, because basically Saab thought it would be a great idea to make it stay in third gear when you fucking take off to somehow save the engine and transmission. I don't really understand how that's supposed to work, because it makes me want to just punch it and then slam it into fucking drive and, you know, break shit because it's irritating. But I haven't done that yet. Anyway, there's a bunch of YouTube videos on people showing how to get your car out of limp mode, which is hilarious, because the genius solution is to take this thing all apart and fuck with the return spring, and there's a transmission shift linkage and shit in here that follows it, that tells the transmission when to shift and whatever. It's a bunch of complicated crap, but basically you just stick with that and it unsnaps the spring from it and allows it to get out of limp mode, which doesn't really take it out of limp mode. It just takes the transmission from following it and shit and whatever. But I'm going to show you how to do it the correct way using the engine's computer, which is putting it into limp mode in the first place. And the problem with that, doing it the mechanical way by dicking with that, is it's a pain in the ass and it's stupid, but it's also just going to go right back. If you have a problem like what I have, and I'll show you what the check engine light is and shit. Also, this way, my way, you don't have to actually screw with taking anything apart, and it's pretty straightforward. The other reason you would want to do this, you know, because a lot of people are going to be like, well, why don't you just fucking go to AutoZone, and, you know, they'll put it on a scanner for free and clear codes and all that shit. Well, I've had to clear the code on this like 4 times in the last 20 minutes, just driving up to the store and back, because it keeps coming back. I mean, your check engine light isn't really going to go away if you have a real problem. So what you'd want to use this for is to basically do that yourself, and of course figure out what the problem is without relying on some retard from AutoZone to tell you what the, you know, that you need to buy oxygen sensor or some dumbass shit. So anyway, how you use this, you get in your car, obviously, and this goes under the dash here, and there's a port right there, it plugs right into that. And then you take the other end and plug it into your laptop. And you want to, when you buy this, it comes with an activation key for this software program called OBD Wiz. And this shit actually works on any car. So if your car's 96 or newer, which is OBD2, it should work. Like I said, this piece of shit, I mean, amazing Swedish car, Swedish bitch, is 2002. And I actually love it. It's pretty nice. I only paid $800 for it, but it's a pain in the ass, so I insult it regularly. So once you basically just download this application. I mean, it literally takes like 2 minutes. Launch the crap. You want to make sure that the car is turned off. Has the key out of it. If you have it running and shit, it kind of freaks it out and gives you a bunch of warnings and and whatnot. So when you plug it in and shit, just launch the application before you do anything. Takes a minute because it sucks. Once it comes up, take your key, stick it in the ignition, turn it on. Don't start the fucking car, just turn it on. And you see that I have all the lights, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do here is my camera focus on the words, camera. Alright, there we go. Okay, now see, you want to go up to connection and connect. And then it's going to go through its process of whatever the hell all that shit is. And then this car has two ECUs, I think, is the issue here. Like, one's actually the ABS module, which is like a separate computer for the airbags and the analog brakes and shit. See how it says supported PIDs 3 and this one is 21? It's because, you know, at least that's what I'm guessing. And I don't really give a shit, but that's one throwing the actual check engine light. So anyway, continue. You might have to kind of dick around with it on your car, just, you know, whatever. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing here. And then once you connect, you go over here to diagnostics. And then there's tabs up at the top for trouble codes and this and whatnot. And as you can see, on mine, I have two check engine lights. This one is for the transmission range, whatever, circuit malfunction, which is like the fucking, there's a sensor that tells the transmission what gear you're in and shit. That's basically what that does. And then you have another one, which is for evap, whatever, which basically means I have a vacuum leak somewhere in my emissions shit. Which is great. So it's not that big of a deal, but it keeps popping up. And actually what it is I'm missing some lines, like the brake booster and shit is missing, so I mean the line for it. So basically all you need to do, once you have this useful information, write down the fucking code and Google it, you know, and you can read all about like what the actual problem is and stuff on whatever car form you own. This is a Saab, so there's a lot of information on Saab World, and there's a couple of different forums, but just Google it and there's people that'll tell you what it is. Anyway, clear the code. It tells you a bunch of bullshit. You don't want to have the car running because it'll freak out and tell you can damage shit. I haven't done that because I actually tried it and it just cleared it and worked just fine, but whatever. So click that, and then that goes away. And then you look at the dash, and the check engine light's gone, right? Cool, huh? So, what we want to do, what I want to do, is start the car, which, of course, now it won't start because fuck me, right? Okay, well, that's the other problem that I haven't quite diagnosed yet. It won't restart when it's hot, and it's hot now, so, you know, I'm also trying to make a video, so pretty much everything is wrong. Like, my laptop just died a fucking minute ago, and this goddamn application wouldn't start, so, you know, it's just whatever. But what's really cool is that you can go to this PID values, and it tells you all this shit in real time, what's happening in your engine. Like, you can see that the coolant is 154 degrees, which can't possibly be right, because I just drove it around a bunch. It's also seeing that my intake is like 14 pounds. I think if I started it, all this shit would actually update. But it's pretty cool because you can kind of monitor what the engine's doing in real time, and it helps you diagnose problems. My problem with this fucker not starting, I think, is the little ignition cartridge. Like when it gets hot, I think that the solder joints in it are expanding and it's breaking connection, so it's not allowing it to, it's not getting spark like it should. Either that or it's a crank position sensor. That's what everyone on the internet says. All I know is just it's hilarious because it's not starting. But if you remember from a second ago, the trouble code that I actually got was for the transmission range sensor. And if you look, when I shift this into or out of park, there's a indicator on the dash that shows me what gear you're in, and I can shift it out of that. And sometimes a minute ago, like when I was driving around, it's just like what I was saying, like now that I'm filming, it's not doing anything right. But when I drove it around a minute ago, I had it in 1 because the check engine light was on, and it was showing that it was in park, which was awesome. Because it's not doing it now, which makes me like a complete fucking liar, right? And it won't start, so I feel like an even bigger dickhead. which is, you know, par for the course today. And the check engine light's not coming back on though, and that's basically what I wanted to prove with this video. It is kind of hilarious, the goddamn... It's funny. That's what I mean by this car is a pain in the ass. It's awesome, I like it, but it fucks with me constantly. You know. So, but anyway, that's, you know, at least having the ability to see what the check engine light is and clear it is, you know, basically what I was getting after here. And this application sucks, honestly. It is gay, and I don't really like it at all, but at least you can do that. There's another application that I've been trying to use. It's called the S7 Suite right here, that I can't really get to work for shit. That is specifically for tuning Saabs, and this will actually allow you to flash the ECU and give you a lot better updates and stuff. And I have a Honda over there, the car that actually fucking runs, and it uses an application called Hondata, and this is pretty similar to it. I just can't get this shit to work right, because every time I try to do anything with it, it crashes for no fucking reason. Like, anything you do, it's just like, oh no, we got missing some bullshit, right? So whatever. So that's really what I want to use for that. But anyway, if you have any other car, this shitty OBD Wiz actually will work. Like I said, the cable is the OBD Link SX off of Amazon. It was $36 shipped, so it's pretty cheap. And, you know, for the value of it, I mean, honestly, just being able to not have to screw with going to AutoZone and pull the codes and look them up and whatever. There's a bunch of other shit on here too, and this application does do a lot more. You can get a professional code or whatever. Shut the fuck up. You can get a professional code or whatever to do a bunch of more diagnostic shit, but it's like $120. The reason I don't really like this application too much is because it's slow. Like, I drove around with it a bunch, monitoring my shit, and like just sitting there idling, the RPM and stuff like that of your engine isn't, you know, it doesn't keep up very fast. It only refreshes like twice a second or something like that, or once a second, which is not, it sounds fast, but it's not. So if you're trying to see like what's happening, like if you're going up a hill or something and it's knocking really bad and it's pulling timing, you know, you kind of want to see that as it's happening, not like 2 seconds later. Anyway, that's all my shit. So, you know, whatever. If you have questions or whatever, just, you know, hit me up. I'm here.